Well, hey everybody, welcome back. I apologize, I believe it's been over 3 weeks since our last video, but we've had a lot going on. Some of that you'll hear about in the video. And then at the same time, we've had some things that we had planned to be in our next video that we just haven't been able to get done because of the weather, and you'll hear about that in the video. But anyway, as we dive into it, I encourage you to hit the like and subscribe button. And without further ado, let's just dive right in. All right, so we're picking up a couple of bulls that belong to my dad and my uncle that we're going to borrow for this breeding season to get our cows bred back to calve next spring. We had a bit of a tragedy last weekend. Our big red Brahma herd bull that the kids called Rebel broke his leg, had to be put down. We found him. We just turned him in with the cows about 24 hours earlier, and then found him over on the neighbor's place with a broken leg. It looked like he and the neighbor's bull got to fighting, threw the fence, tore the fence up. He got over there and then obviously had broken the leg, but kind of left us in a pinch because not only, I guess it was tragedy kind of on two fronts. One, we hated to lose our bull, but two, we also need cows bred. So worked out where they actually have these two Angus bulls I'll show you in just a second that they weren't using yet, two 18-month-old bulls ready to go. And so it just made sense. I was having trouble finding any other bulls ready to go nearby anyway. And so we're gonna use them, get the cows bred, and we'll bring them back, and then we'll have time for next breeding season to decide what direction we're gonna go with our next bull. All right, so here's these two old boys, two really nice Angus bulls. So we'll get them loaded. Go on, boys. Go on, boys. Y'all go on. Y'all go on. You'll notice that closest bull to us there is a little lame on that left front, which is kind of ironic. That's the same foot that, going back a couple of videos, we had to work on Rebel. When he had that stick stuck, this bull actually had a piece of wire in his hoof. We got it out a couple of weeks ago. Still was a little lame, so then we had to dig it out. He's getting a lot better. We're gonna go ahead and take them both, even though he may not be really in prime shape to do much breeding right away. All right, boys, go on, go on, go on. You got a bunch of girlfriends waiting on you. All right, we're gonna fast forward about, I guess, 3 days since we brought those two Angus bulls and turned them out. There's one over there, kind of bothering a heifer. And the other one, he's over there with the cow. So it looks like they're getting quickly acquainted with the girls. We turned them back in here just this morning on this clover that we had sowed down last fall. We're gonna let them eat it now. Yeah, we let them in here for just another maybe 2 or 3 days. It really depends on the weather. Before we burn this down, get ready to plant our sun hemp and sorghum Sudan mix. Sun hemp's something I'm not familiar with. So it's a legume. We'll get to see what it does this summer. Try to get a good stand of it, show you how that works out. But really, I had wanted to already get this burned down. We would have done it last weekend, but then it rained 1.5 inches on Sunday. And I kind of checked it this morning. It's still about half the bottom we could probably get over, but the bottom just stays so wet, at least half of it. Too muddy still, so we'll try to catch it here in the next few days, get over it, and get that planted. I think they're calling for a little chance of rain on Friday and maybe again on Saturday. Today's Wednesday, so I don't know. It's probably going to depend on us having to miss that, or those couple of chances of rain, if we're going to get this planted any time in the next week. But anyway, just checking on those boys. I hope they're getting the job done with these ladies. And kind of see what else we can get into today. All right, so we were checking cows earlier today. Actually, I was home at lunch and ran into a problem. See, there's one of our bulls over there. I actually don't know where the other bull is. But this bull, I had 3 bulls. And I really actually don't have any bulls right now. I have 2 that I borrowed from my dad and my uncle. And this is actually the neighbor's bull. You see, obviously he's very friendly, but they've gotten out. So project for this evening is to get him back into his pasture and get the fence back. Okay, and there comes the other bull. So he was all right. He was just up there in the thicket. Some of those heifers may be in heat. Anyway, so all the bulls are located. We just need to get that one back to where he belongs. All right, so this is where he got in. You see, we got fairly new fence here, 5 strands of barbed wire. We did right through here. Get back, baby. Lured him back in, got him back over there. He's on his side of the creek now with some feed. Get back, cow. Now my cows want to get out to get to the feed. But that's the problem. Even good new barbed wire, if a 2,000-pound bull puts his mind to it, he can go right through it. And they were, I'm sure he was fighting with our 2 bulls. We're gonna get these stretched back. My property line actually is the creek. You can see there's some old fence that the neighbor had done before. I think he comes up over here. It's really not an easy spot for him to get out of the creek until you come all the way over here. And I mean, that's clearly where he comes up. So I know you maybe could kind of halfway engineer something to keep him coming up right there. I doubt that's gonna work. We're probably gonna have to run a hot wire electric fence along the top of these. But anyway, everybody's back where they should be now. We're gonna get the fence fixed and just hope that they don't tear it right up again tomorrow. All right, so we got those 5 wires stretched back tight. I actually used the wire stretchers there. Use these crimps right here on these top 2 wires. The bottom 3 weren't actually broken, they were just stretched. So we just pulled out the staples, tied them back tight. It's not a thing of beauty, but hopefully it'll hold him back. I'm gonna go over my post driver, kind of adjusted those wire panels over there. I'll step over in a second to show you. Moved a couple of those steel posts and the second wire panel. I think we can maybe block any easy place he has to come up the creek bank. I may not be able to tell in the video, but the creek bank is super steep all through here, really nowhere. I shouldn't say nowhere. I mean, if he really wanted, he could probably come up right there, but we did have to really want in. But something like one of these girls in heat could be the incentive that a bull would need to do something like that. But anyway, we'll try to make as much of a deterrent to him coming back as possible. Girls would filter him back up that way. All right, so this is what we rigged up, and it is very much just some redneck engineering. And actually, neighbor had kind of rigged up some of this to kind of keep him being able to get up out of the creek and even onto our side of the creek. But you see, there's the old fence, and you can see some of it down there in the creek where the creek's kind of washed out over the years and has a water gap. It's actually in halfway decent shape, but really nowhere where they can come up and get out up the creek bank through here. And then I got that wire panel there. And so he really, I mean, not anywhere he can easily come up right there. And then where he'd been coming up is right here. And again, this is all just to keep him from getting to the actual fence there, where he's then nose to nose with ours and gets to pushing and fighting with these other 2 bulls and tear the fence up. So he at least can't come up right where he has been. I don't know if that's gonna work out, but because again, a cow in heat over here is pretty big incentive to him finding a way. See, Lucy, our Jersey, who they're notoriously kind of curious and troublemakers. Got her head in the feed bucket, but it's empty. I think she's figured that out.
And I should point out, I have a really good relationship with my neighbors. Actually a good family friend that rents the pasture across the creek right now. I'd called him earlier. He actually helped me fix the fence where he'd gotten out a week or so ago when we had the accident with Rebel. And I talked to him earlier today, but he was busy this evening, and I'm working tomorrow, so I told him I can get him back. And then actually the landowner, he leases that pasture, rents it. I have a good relationship with the landowners too. Always have, but anyway, we'll try to do our part to keep the fences up and hopefully prevent anything like this from happening again, because of course, unfortunately for us, the accident, Rebel breaking his leg last weekend could have just as easily been his bull. But anyway, the girls say hello. They're all excited about that tiny bit of feed right there that's still on the ground. And they've got all that clover over there, which they've about got it eaten down. But yeah, they'll spend 15, 20, 30 minutes sticking their nose through the fence to get not even a handful of feed right there on the ground. Yes, they're burning way more energy than that feed provides, but hey, that's why we eat them and they don't eat us.
All right, so we got that all fixed. Good chance to look at the calves. Everybody loves babies, right? There's 3, 4 of them. There's one there. It's a little F1 baby, so Brahma Hereford cross. A few more there. Oh wait, that's not a calf, that's Sadie. And if I don't fall down turning around, must be one of the earlier calves there. Anyway, that's just about everybody.
All right, you can see we got the tractor running, sprayer hooked up behind it, filling it up right now with water. I'm gonna try to finally get some burn down put on these bottoms so we can be ready to plant our sorghum sudan and sun hemp mix here maybe in the next week and a half. The rain has not cooperated with us at all. That bottom stays really wet naturally, and we've just been getting rain after rain after rain. There's a little chance later on this afternoon, a really good chance later on in the week. We're gonna go ahead and try to get over as much as we can. Maybe able to get over the whole bottom. A tank will get us over about half of it, and then we'll see where we are there, see if we can feel like we can get the rest of it sprayed today. Definitely gonna be too muddy, I think, to actually try to do any planting, but try to at least get this out of the way, then we get the planter hooked up, get it set, and be ready to go as soon as it gets dry. So really just kind of getting started, made a few passes. Really, I've been pretty happy with just the dryness. Got some wet spots, but really not rutting it up significantly at all. Gonna have a few really wetter spots that we'll probably just end up leaving out anyway, so not too big of a deal. So we've only sprayed maybe a quarter of a tank, but unless we really start running into some spots that are worse, we don't think we will. I think we may be able to go ahead and get a couple tanks sprayed out and essentially be done with our burn down. Then maybe here in the next week and a half, be able to get it planted. Hard to see the spray coming out. That boom was open up the window here and see if you can see it a little better. Okay, so we got that bottom sprayed. We're able to get over everything, a little muddy in spots, but not too bad. Few ruts, nothing too terrible, really not as much as I was expecting. Now what we got to watch, I don't know if you can tell there behind me, it's really clouding up. We got typical summertime pop-up thunder shower chances this afternoon. Looking at the radar, it's kind of super scattered just all over. So really needed probably at least another 45 minutes for that rain to hold off. And we should be okay, but assuming it doesn't just come a downpour and negate everything we just did, we should be ready to plant just as soon as, again, we can catch it dry enough. All right, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in. As always, remind you, hit the like and subscribe button, share it. If you've got any comments, questions, of course, leave them below. Obviously, you have another video coming soon. We hope that'll be us planting those summer annuals, weather permitting. We do want to dedicate this video, I guess, obviously in memory of Rebel. But as always, we remind you to eat beef and God bless. Bye-bye.